best way to cut stainless steel is to use a hacksaw. I had to be careful to keep it straight. I had to drill a hole so that I could fit a nail. This would prevent the tube from becoming wobbly in the concrete. Mixing the concrete is quite a skill. If I added too much water, then the mix would become too wet and not usable. I had to ensure that the top of the concrete was smooth, as when the mould was dry, it would be flipped upside down. I set up an apparatus to keep the tube straight. I made a wooden base out of plywood to create an even surface for the base of the pot. I had to waterproof this wood with varnish and paint. This is because it will be submerged underwater. I used a copper cutter and nails to stop it wobbling. Waterproof sealant is used to stop concrete breaking into the water pump. A rod through the bottom of the sacks was connected to the concrete base using a tube. I created a right angle from the rod and slid it into an open French horn pipe. For one trumpet, a rod sealed with silicone, the other a copper pipe for steadiness. I angled the rod to counteract the shape of the trombone, connected with hose clamps. Positions were determined by the flow of water. The first white coat was put on. The heat that was applied meant the soldered parts fell apart. Blue powder particles are being applied by an intense spray. Cable ties, small rivets and silicone were used to piece together the French horn. Rubber and tape was used to protect the powder coating. I placed silicone down the bell of the saxophone and inside the keys. I also put in a screw to hold down one of the keys. Euphonium was sealed in one side of the tube. I placed a bit of aluminium square down the bell to keep the tube straight. The trumpet was elevated to allow space for the water pump. The water feed pipe was sealed into the trumpet with silicone. All other exits are blocked with silicone. A screw is fitted to stop it spinning on its mount. I blew through the trumpet to test if water would pass. Mouthpieces were added for effect. PVC pipe was used to connect misfit pieces. I used small plastic elbows and hose clamps to connect the water pumps. There was some splash coming off the red trombone. To fix this, I made a small hole in the bubbler trombone. After assembling the lights, I drilled them into the side of the base. I created a switchboard to have individual control over lighting and pumps. To prevent the French horn tipping under the weight of the water, I drilled a piece of metal to the base of the mould. A black rim around the base to make things look neat.